Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Let's go quickly here through Major League Baseball. We'll just touch on it. Tampa Bay currently leading. What happened?
Tennessee scored, but it's not Jonnu Smith. I needed Jonnu Smith real bad.
Oh.
I don't even need a lot. I just need like 15, 20 yards and a catch out of him, and I got none of it on their last drive. Looks like I'm going to fall 3 points short of my incredible 45-point comeback over Monday and Tuesday nights.
Better get this wrapped up pretty quick.
But Tennessee's gonna do just fine.
Better get this wrapped up quick. We got an under 52 and a hook ticket. I'm about to get
thing sucks.
Major League Baseball, ALCS, Tampa leading the series 2-1, but currently trailing in the top of the third to the Astros 1-0. The Atlanta Braves leading the NLCS 1-0, and they are currently leading the Dodgers 7-3. In the bottom of the 8th. The Braves, I think, one of the probably the more surprising teams through this postseason. They are yet to lose a game, sweeping the Reds in 2 games. The Marlins, who had never lost a playoff series, 3-0, and now looking to go up 2-0 over the LA Dodgers. So I think a lot of people thought we're going to run away with the National League. So the Braves, a surprising team, and if you've been a fan of baseball for a number of years, you figure that the Braves at some point are going to blow this thing because that's what they've done every year except for one. So, guys, any thoughts on the MLB postseason at this point?
Yeah, I think as far as the Tampa Bay Rays are concerned, I think you better find a way to win today's game. I think if this one goes back to even, I'm not so sure they recover. I picked the Rays like you did to go through, and the more I really started looking at the way the season shook out and the pitching staff's in place and everything else, I would say the Rays are outgunned, but I mean with their payroll, they're outgunned in every series they play. So it's hard to bet against them, but at the same time, I'm going to. I think if the Rays don't find a way to take control of this series today, I think they let it slip away, and I think the Astros are going to take this, which is what I think is probably going to happen. I think I like the Astros to sneak in there, but yeah, the Atlanta Braves early lead there, and you say like, all right, just waiting for them to blow up. You're not going to have to wait very long. I think the Dodgers get control of this series and work their way through, and I think you're going to see a Dodgers Astros World Series.
Gross. I still like the Rays, though. How about you, Dave?
I'd like to see him go. It keeps it more interesting down here. I don't see it happening against the Astros. I like them a lot.
I think the Dodgers really depend on what the Kershaw status is. He got scratched tonight, obviously, but I think that's going to be very. I mean, if he can come back and pitch Game 3, that I don't want to say twist the series, but no matter what happens tonight, you're looking 2-1. Potentially, assuming Kershaw, you have regular season Kershaw and not playoff Kershaw, which is a big if, but. I'm going to go with the Braves out west just because Sean didn't pick them. And then whoever Sean didn't pick in the East, I'm taking them as well. If you're going to give me the Rays, I think I'll take the Rays. They have a 2-game.
Yeah, take the Rays. You can have them. I picked them earlier in the season, so I have them either way.
Oh, so you're just doing
I'm hedging my bets.
You're doing the normal Jim picking both teams in every other episode. So
I am leaving the
Rays
to take the Astros, but usually
I will bang on the trash can and pick up the Rays.
All right, let's real quick look here at the NBA, guys. Of course, the LA Lakers winning the NBA Finals 4-2, giving LeBron James his 4th championship. And anytime LeBron wins a title, it begins to ask the question about his legacy, and the people who like LeBron are gonna champion him. The people who hate LeBron are going to lose their minds because the guy that they love to hate just had another championship season, and then everybody else is kind of in the middle, just going, maybe he's just really good, guys. He doesn't necessarily have to be compared to Jordan. He doesn't have to be compared to all these other people. But, when push comes to shove, the guy is the best NBA player in his generation. He's going to go down as one of the best of all time. And Sean, I know you and I have talked about this, obviously not on the show, but what people fail to realize is because so many people be like, well, he didn't stay in Cleveland to get his titles. He had to go all these other places and go to all this other talent. But the difference, first off, the difference in sports now versus sports then is sports now, you don't have guys that are, necessarily career guys in one city. But also, LeBron wanted Cleveland from the outset to bring in the talent. He never wanted to leave there. They just didn't bring in the talent. He's like, well, I know that people are going to always compare me to Michael Jordan. People are always going to put me in that conversation. And again, they play two different positions too, which I don't think is necessarily fair to either guy. But he understood that he's always going to be compared. So you either bring me the talent in Cleveland or I got to go get it somewhere else. And he got it somewhere else. Then he came back to Cleveland and got them their title, and now went out to L.A. and got one there. To me, I didn't like the decision when it happened. But the bottom line is, if you look back on it, he's even admitted, I could have done it better. I didn't have to make my decision to play in Miami the way that I did it. He's kind of grown up and matured and realized he didn't have to do it that way. And honestly, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm not a big NBA guy. It should have no impact on me. He went back to Cleveland, got his win. To me, all those scores were settled anyway. But LeBron's one of the best ever, and he'll go down as one of the best ever. And anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is lying to themselves, and lying to anyone that hears them say that.
You can pass this one to Dave. Let him go second on this one because I'm going to talk for a few minutes.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
It's basketball. I don't really have an opinion, so I'll just concur with whatever you two say.
Perfect.
All right, sounds good. That's perfect.
Sean, go ahead.
Look, the bottom line is people are people who fight against the LeBron crowning or who fight against LeBron being compared. You can't compare him to Kobe. You can't compare him to Michael. You can't compare him, yada, 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 yada. The people like that is, and the major issue is when you came into Michael Jordan and then eventually Kobe Bryant, I feel somehow, I still don't understand why this argument didn't come up when Kobe was getting crowned, because people had no problem crowning him like right next to Michael and being like, this is the same guy. They're the same. All of a sudden, like LeBron comes around, and it's like, well, he couldn't possibly be better. And it's almost like it's too recent. I feel like with the Michael Jordan thing, like, because you try to figure who Michael Jordan was surpassing above the Mount Rushmore to that superhuman level. Like, was it Wilt Chamberlain? Like was it more recent with a Magic Johnson and that Lakers team? Like, I don't think people really know who that Lakers team superstar was. Was it James Worthy? Was it a Kareem? Like, I think for a long time, people just accepted that there were all these juggernauts that like were larger than life and were better than anyone around them. And then they were the reason why teams had multiple titles. And people put Jordan up there with them and then above them, which they should have, because people realized Michael Jordan just can't be stopped no matter what. And when you tell him he can't do it, he does it. And Kobe had a great career too. But like you said, LeBron started in Cleveland. Michael Jordan started in Chicago. Now, to that point, Chicago hadn't done a whole lot, but they just had gotten a new owner while Michael Jordan was heating up. And he was like, this guy's good enough to build around. And he actually built around him. Without Michael Jordan asking for it, without anyone else, the closest they got was when Michael Jordan made a fight for Phil Jackson at various points in his career. That was like, and late in his career, they made fights and they lost. And it's why Michael Jordan retired. But LeBron James was in Cleveland.
Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? I think you just got a Jonnu Smith touchdown, Sean, by the way.
What happened?
Jonnu Smith just caught a touchdown.
You got to be out of your mind.
No, he just did. 41-16.
Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, it's his second touchdown of the game.
You made that up.
I did not make that up.
You.
It's a thing.
Well, it hasn't alerted my phone yet.
Well, why is Dave shaking his head?
I don't know. He's very, very uppity. I was in the middle of a rant.
Dave just lost the under, so Dave.
Oh, so
angry.
Dave's
Dave angry. He
Dave's
agrees.
pissed.
Jonnu Smith, the greatest tight end in football. The comeback is complete. We will not fall to the basement. We will keep. We did it.
We did.
All right, anyway, back to LeBron.
Sorry. Go ahead. Back to LeBron.
Back to LeBron. The big difference is you know, you and I both know we have someone who's probably not going to listen to this podcast unless we blast his Facebook with it later.
I'll send it to
who
him.
is adamant about hating LeBron James. Hates him. And I don't know if it's bitterness. I don't know if it's like, man, I should have bet on this guy earlier. I don't know if he cost him a ton of money. Whatever it is, it seems like a personal vendetta. And it's kind of this whole like, well, Kobe did it the right way and Kobe did it this way. Let me tell you this. If LeBron James had stayed in Cleveland or even went to Miami and was like, you know what, I made a mistake, I'm going back, there is no way the supporting cast that arrived like a cavalry in Los Angeles for Kobe Bryant's career, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Robert Ory's, the guys that like helped him out in the playoffs. And does Kobe need the help? Probably not. And I'm not going to take anything away from Kobe's career. He was one of the most fun players I've ever watched. He was one of the best human beings that I can remember coming out of the NBA in a long time. There's no reason to make fun of Kobe Bryant. However, to say that LeBron has no business being compared to him because he had to go seek out titles, I got news for you. If Kobe Bryant had been drafted by Cleveland, he either wouldn't have a title or he would have had to seek one out. That city wasn't going to try anything. And I'm starting to learn that in the city of Philadelphia, we'll pretend to seek one out. And right now we're probably as close. We're on that cusp where either we're going to or we're going to fall back into the abyss that we've been in for so long. And we'll talk about how we got so close like we did with Allen Iverson. So for LeBron James to have to go do it, if nobody judged players by their titles, he wouldn't have had to.
Right.
Could have stayed in Cleveland, probably still would have led the league in scoring and probably rebounds and been third in steals and done what he does in Cleveland with no supporting cast and made a ton more money because they'd have been like, we'll just pay him. We don't need anyone else. He could have made more money in Cleveland, and I'll stick by that argument, than he did in his career. Now, did the championships help with the endorsements and the whatever billion-dollar advertising? Sure. But, you know, say what you want to. The man's been in 10 NBA finals.
That's a lot,
10.
by the way.
Yeah, and I don't know the exact – I didn't look at how many he missed, but I'm pretty sure it's like 10 out of 12. Does that sound right?
Approximately, yeah. I don't know.
Approximately 10 out of 12. So Kobe Bryant didn't play in 10. Michael Jordan didn't play in 10. Did they win a higher percentage? Sure. Did they win a higher percentage with better teams? Like, by the end of Michael Jordan's 6, would you have bet against the Bulls in the finals? No. Were people betting against the Lakers in this year's finals? Yes. Were people betting against Cleveland, against Golden State? Yes. Like, the finals he won, he wasn't even always the favorite, and he was by far, in my opinion, the best player in those finals. And there's no one that's going to take LeBron James off of my personal Mount Rushmore, and I don't even necessarily like the guy as an individual either.
Like, here's the thing. I think the biggest the problem that people have with LeBron James, it always goes back to the decision. It always does.
Yeah, and you know darn well the decision was pushed to him by ESPN and by everyone else as much as
Absolutely.
It was his own choice. Like, was it ultimately his choice? Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But whether or not
somebody's dangling like a primetime slot to make your announcement, and it's larger than life. Like, it was essentially the basketball free agency equivalent of like a Triple H WrestleMania entrance.
Right.
Like pyrotechnics.
Like Triple H, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin all rolled into one.
Like a triple tag match coming in. Like,
shut up and take my money.
No one's going to turn that down. How old was he at the time? Like 20.
Yeah, it was only after a couple of years in Cleveland.
Right. I don't know what the biggest mistake of my life is, but it probably happened between 20 and 23.
I wasn't the smartest at that age.
Polled 1,000 people and had them pinpoint the largest mistake in their life, it would be some point between those 3 or 4 years. And so for LeBron James to get continually criticized for like a PR decision versus a basketball, like
it wasn't a personal decision. It wasn't it wasn't something he said. It wasn't something he tweeted. It wasn't
the whole shebang.
Yeah. Like, and again, go back to when you were, college age or just out of college. You weren't the smartest person in the world.
No.
You didn't make the best decisions in the world. And like I said, he's even admitted that he could have done that whole thing differently.
Absolutely. And he didn't. He could have. But then again, if he just like quietly leaves in the night, people bash him anyway. So
right.
I don't know.
He was going to get flack leaving Cleveland, leaving his home city behind. He was going to get flack again because your comparison to Jordan. And the fact that Jordan never left Chicago. I mean, obviously at the end he played in Washington, but it was irrelevant by that point.
People forget, like Jordan did leave Chicago.
Yeah, he went and played baseball
in a different sport.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he retired. Was like, I'm done with this. This is stupid. I'm out. And he like a baby like walked away, and then like came. And I know it wasn't like a baby scenario because his dad had the whole situation with his dad. And he was going through a lot, and maybe a change in my life, and nobody criticizes him for it. Because it was like a big moment in his life. And I think LeBron had a big moment in his life where he was young and he decided, you know what? I have a choice now. I can stay here and I can keep fighting for play, or I can go try to build that career and then maybe come back someday. And he did just that. He came back. And I think the city of Cleveland forgave him. And if the city of Cleveland can forgive you
everybody
for the decision, then no one else gets to criticize him. Only one city in the country has the right to be pissed at LeBron James for leaving Cleveland, and that's Cleveland. Yeah. And if he came back to Cleveland and gave them the title they were looking for all those years, then screw everybody else. Go where you want. And I mean, to be honest, it's not like he went to the Lakers and built a Golden State Warriors team where it was like a million guys taking pay cuts to play there. He's got a center and then like a supporting cast that, they're real good. Are they as like people thought they might lose to the Clippers in the playoffs? Like people thought they might lose
nobody
to the
thought
Nuggets.
They were going to win. Nobody thought they were going to win this championship.
Like people thought maybe they get, and then I saw him get critiqued for being on the phone on public national television, like making a call like, oh, Michael would have never been on that phone call. Like Michael didn't play in a bubble away from his family, first of all. That's like the biggest thing is that he's in a bubble trying to contact people he cares about. And it's a different world. It's a world that lives on social media, and it's a world that's connected by cell phones. So that's all I'm going to say. As you can tell, I'm pretty angry at all the LeBron haters. I think the 4th title gives him a lot more merit than they've had to argue against those people before. And do I think LeBron has a shot to win another one fore he's done? Yeah, I think he has a chance to finish with 5 or 6. Because I don't think he's anywhere near done. So, by the time it's all said and done, he's going to be in more finals than anyone in history or darn close. And he's going to have just as many rings as most of the people you would argue against Jordan and Kobe. So stop whining. Let the man have his rings. And LeBron, go enjoy yourself. Because I knew you weren't going to until I gave you permission. So go enjoy yourself. Have a good time.
Basically, to all the LeBron haters.
Shut the f*** up!
You said it, brother.
Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?